Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Ryan, aka Alethal Llama, and today I want to talk to you about Recore. Recore is a brand new action-adventure game that was announced at E3, and even though we were only shown a CG trailer, there is a lot to take away from it. Also, I want to thank YouTuber Tony Gabriel Mozera for suggesting that I make this video in the first place. If you want me to talk about a certain game, trailer, or topic, just let me know in the comments down below. Now let's get to it. As always, let's start with the plot. As one of the last remaining humans on a planet controlled by robotic foes, bent on your destruction, you must forge friendships with a courageous group of robot companions, each with unique abilities and powers. Lead this band of unlikely heroes on an epic adventure through a mysterious, dynamic world. You can't save mankind alone. This already raises a few important questions. Why and how are you one of the last humans alive? What has happened to the rest of humanity? And why are there robots trying to kill you? Additionally, why are some robots, like your robotic dog companion, friendly? Moving on to characters, we're hardly given any information about the game's main character, whose name has not been revealed yet, and at least some part of the game will take place in a desert area, with run-down structures that have been taken over by the elements. The trailer shows our character, with a robotic, extremely dog-like companion. The blue orb at its center is called a core, but we'll get into those later. Let's talk about her robot companion and how it will work as a gameplay mechanic. It seems likely that your character will almost always have her companion nearby. I imagine it will automatically follow you, and this part of the trailer suggests that you'll be able to give it simple commands like, "Come here."
Come on, buddy.
Perhaps you will also be able to direct it to certain locations, or tell it to do certain things. For example, directing it to a mound of dirt to have it dig up something. As our two intrepid explorers push through a sandstorm and make their way to a structure, it also seems that your companion can sense enemies before they approach, which should definitely prove useful. The robot enemies are spider-like in form and can climb walls and hang upside down. They have cores like your companion, but are red instead of blue, signifying hostility. Their only means of attack seems to be just charging right at you. During this brief encounter, we're able to learn a lot about how you and your dog fight. Our main character wields something that looks like an energy rifle, which fires single shots. However, if shot too frequently, it will overheat, not allowing you to shoot for a short time. I imagine this will encourage slow, precise shots as opposed to a spray and pray attack style. The energy rifle doesn't actually seem to do much of anything to the spider bots, but that could be because she didn't shoot their cores, which is probably their weak spots. She's also seen using a grappling hook that is attached to her wrist and back. She uses it to rip the cores out of one of the enemies, immediately rendering it useless. The core is pulled back to her hands, which makes me wonder if enemy cores can be collected and used for upgrades or leveling up. I'm also curious to know how often you can use the Grapple Attack. Since it can seemingly one-shot smaller enemies, I hope it either involves a good amount of skill, or that it has a moderate cooldown. I also wonder if the enemy cores are collectible when enemies are killed by means other than your grapple, like with your energy rifle. Regarding your robotic dog companion, it's safe to assume that it will automatically fight alongside of you. We're able to see 3 of its attacks. The first is a bark of sorts, which stuns the enemies. Another is a headbutt, which also stuns them. These 2 moves seem to have little chance to kill, so it's probably up to the human character to finish them off. Your companion's third scene move is a self-destruct. In the trailer, it appears that your companion sacrifices itself for you, which brings about some important questions. The first is if your companion will self-destruct automatically in-game, or if you can command it to do so. Perhaps when your robot is low on health, it will self-destruct automatically. Furthermore, if your companion self-destructs, are you simply without one for an amount of time? This also shows that robots have the capability to value other life over their own lives. After your companion explodes, nothing is left but its core. The main character picks up the core and puts it into the dormant robot laying nearby. It comes to life, clearly the same being that previously inhabited the dog.
Welcome back, buddy.
Hence the name of the game, Recore. Throughout the game, I imagine you'll be escorting this core throughout multiple bodies. With she and her new companion ready to go, she approaches a large door. It scans her hand and the door opens. This is a very small detail of the trailer, but I believe it implies something huge. Why does she have access to the door? Did she used to work in this facility back when the rest of humanity existed? This becomes even more interesting when we see what's behind the door. A giant killer robot. Was the main character working on these robots? And was she related to the events that led to the fall of humanity? It certainly seems possible. This may explain why she was able to survive. and how she was able to befriend some robots, perhaps by altering their cores. This makes even more sense considering she didn't seem that much surprised by the beast inside the door, implying that she already knew it was there. Now, back to the killer robot. Upon closer inspection, it looks like a huge version of the spider bots we saw earlier. Notice the 4 similar legs, and is most likely a boss or mini-boss. However, its core is not showing or vulnerable like the others, but there is a red glow coming from inside of it, and our character may have to damage its hidden core to defeat it. We see our heroine jump towards the creature and then suddenly zoom right at it. There didn't seem to be any other device on her back, so maybe she used her grappling hook to latch onto the robot. Whether or not this is true, it'd be cool to see the grappling hook used to traverse your environment. As the trailer closes, we see silhouettes of the main character and 6 different companions. 2 of them are familiar, the dog and the gorilla-like robot seen in the trailer, but the other 4 are brand new. The one on the far left, interestingly enough, is a spider bot. This implies that maybe enemies can be reprogrammed to be helpful instead of a threat, but then that also means that any of the other 5 companions could also be enemy types as well. The one next to it can float and has many tentacle arms. Next to that is a rover-esque robot. And next to our player character, we have what looks just like a floating ball. I'm very excited to see all the different abilities these companions have, and how they'll be used in the game. Now for the big questions. For the companions that can fight, will you be able to direct them in combat, or is it purely automatic? Assuming you need a certain companion to access certain parts of the game, if your companion self-destructs or dies, are you stuck, or can you find scraps or parts of the same companion around the game world? Does the main character have anything to do with the fall of humanity? Finally, and this is super general, but what kind of game will this be? In my mind, I see a third-person open-world game, perhaps with some RPG mechanics, like leveling up and some kind of skill tree. And that is all for this video. Thanks for watching. If you have any theories about the game, or wishes for things it will have, let me know in the comments. Also in the comments, let me know if you want me to cover any other game, trailer, or topic. Once again, my name is Ryan, aka Lethal Llama, and I'll see you next time.